Hey, Joe, Regeneron now saying that there are data showing that their monoclonal antibody cocktails against COVID do lose potency against the Omicron variant. This was suspected from modeling data, but now there are actual lab data that confirm this. They do, of course, confirm this cocktail still has potency against the Delta variant, which is still the dominant variant circulating in the United States, although Omicron is growing quickly. They say they have next-generation antibodies that have shown to be active against both Omicron and Delta, which, pending discussions with regulatory authorities, could start human trials in the first quarter of next year. So, guys, this is something that had been expected, but we are now seeing the lab data coming out here, and fairly concerning if we don't yet have the antiviral drugs, from Pfizer and Merck, for example, which do stand up against the variants as we wait to potentially get the antibody drugs updated if we need them to be against Omicron. Guys?
Yeah, that probably, I'm watching the stock, watching the overall averages. It's an antibody, monoclonal. We know about vaccine-generated antibodies to Omicron are far less effective than to the other variants. Why wouldn't the monoclonal be expected to be less effective? So is this surprising in any way, Meg? Anything that's in it that's worse than what we might have assumed?
Well, based on the modeling data, this was expected for the Regeneron cocktail. A paper came out, a preprint, so it's not yet peer-reviewed, from the lab of Dr. David Ho at Columbia, looking at all of the vaccines, so all three in the U.S. and the AstraZeneca vaccine, as well as all of the monoclonal antibodies. And the results were pretty sobering across the board. Some did hold up slightly better than others. The Vir Biotech/GSK antibody had diminished potency, but not to the same extent as some of the other antibodies and antibody cocktails. So it's just about how they target the spike or where they target the virus. We know that Lilly said yesterday that they've got a next generation antibody that looks like it holds up against Omicron that has already moved through some human clinical trials. So that could be advanced fairly quickly as well. So companies are moving fast, but we're going to have to see what that gap looks like as Omicron does spread so fast.